Hello, everyone. This is Jim Secrets with the All Over podcast. And tonight I'm talking to John Breiner. John Breiner is an actor. He played in the movie The Dance. He played a teacher. He also was in the movie Silence and Jeremesus. And we're going to talk to him today and say how he's doing. How you doing there, John? What's up?
Uh, I'm doing pretty good. Just living the dream.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I wanted to ask you, how did you get started?
So that's actually kind of fun. There's a funny story involved with that. I was just perusing Facebook one day, and I had a friend who was they were doing a movie here called Zom Squad, and they were needing extras one day. And so I was like, I looked at the wife. I said, well, let's load the kids up and go. So we went down to the park, and there was a scene that they were doing where we were huddled up with a bunch of other people under some playground equipment, and like the zombies started coming at us, and they made up some fake puke, and we did the scene, and they're like, well, let's do it one more time. They're like, but you guys gotta throw up on each other. So I was like, okay. So when we redid it, the lady that was standing next to me, she bent over in front of me, and I puked all over her head, and she was pissed. She's like, you threw up all over me. And I'm like, well, that's what he told me to do. So needless to say, she wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the shoot, and I just thought it was pretty funny.
Are you guys good friends now?
No, I've never seen her again.
Oh.
And I think it's just one of those things that she was just there to kind of be an extra, just like we were. And I was just playing the part I was told to play, and she didn't like it. But that's kind of how I got started. From there, actually, that's how I met Todd, and just got in touch with him. And from there, he actually did a little short movie like last Christmas called Santa's Lap, which my daughter was in. And we've just became good friends, and he just keeps putting me in his movies, so I just keep showing up.
I bet your daughter really enjoyed that, huh?
Oh yeah, she keeps asking me when she gets to do more.
That's great. That's great. I have a family thing. Something like what I'm doing in a way. I have my family involved too. Just I'm the show host. Let's see. So you were in The Dance. That was your next movie then?
Yes. Yeah, I just kind of played a teacher that was kind of in the background, and that was my first real actual movie. I helped with light setup and sound and everything else aside from being in it. So I kind of got to see all aspects of it, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great thing about working with Todd is he lets you, if you have questions or you want to do something, he'll show you and he'll let you do it. So.
Yeah, well, you know what? We talked, you were on the show with Todd that we did, right? Wasn't you there the day you guys were filming Jeremesus?
Yep, yeah, me and Bree.
That's
Bree
right.
were there.
Yeah, yeah, that was like one of my best interviews that I've talked to Todd, and he seemed so down to earth. And we're talking about this person. His name is Todd Ernest Burley, and
Braley.
Bailey. Everyone's calling him different. Bailey, is that what it is?
Braley.
Bailey.
No, Braley.
Braley
with an R. Yeah,
Braley. Okay, I call him Barley. Oh man, I've been calling him that for Braley.
Oh, he'll answer to anything.
Yeah, me too in a way. But really good guy. I really enjoy some of his movies. I mean, so I'm glad that you're working with him. He really seems like a really nice guy, and can't wait to meet him someday. And so you did another movie called Silence. How did you like doing that one?
I did that one. That one really put me to the test because I played the father, and behind that's about a girl who is assaulted, and it's about the effects not only on her but on everybody around her, her family and her friends, and um, that was a really really rough one to do. It definitely tested me emotionally, physically, but it was great. All the actors in it were really good. I had a good time. I got to do behind the scenes stuff there as well. So, but that was my first real immersion into filmmaking and acting, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope to continue to do more.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the movie, but like you said, it looks good. I read the review on it, and yeah, I was like, man, that probably was something. Being a family person as you are and stuff like that, it probably you know got did it mentally? Did it get to you or
It did, because I have two daughters. I have
right?
a 4-year-old and an 11-year-old. So it, you think about it, you're like, man, what if this happened, to my kid?
Hmm.
And it's just is crazy. I mean, the special effects guys that we had on that, they did an amazing job, and with the makeup and everything else, and all the actors in that were just super exceptional, and they did a really great job. I was really impressed. I mean, we even had people that were helping out, that were on the backside doing camera stuff or moving lights and stuff, and they were in tears
Oh,
at some point. So, I mean, it really touched people. And that'll actually be out next month, I believe, is what Todd's shooting for.
oh, that's good to know. That is the movie Silence, and John's in it, and I can't wait because hopefully, well, I know it'll be posted, and I will post it as well as soon as we get more info on that movie because I want to see it as well. It looks like a really good movie. So let's see. So, do you think you consider yourself, maybe since you like so much, do you think you might want to maybe direct or you know do behind the scenes sometime? Have you ever thought of doing something like that as well?
I have actually. I went through a couple acting classes and stuff that Todd put on, and I'm actually working on writing my own script, and then hopefully be able to direct it with his guidance, and so that way I love to try new things, and I love to try everything. Uh, so one day, maybe make it big, maybe not, and keep it small, and just do all the indie stuff, which is fine too. Because you look at people like Kevin Smith, that that dude does nothing but like indie films, and he's made a great career out of it.
Yes. Yeah, that would be good. And you know what? You can always, if you do that, I'll definitely help you out, man. By letting you on, you can tell me about it. Can you even just give me a little idea of what you have in mind of such as the story or anything, or you just want to keep it quiet?
Well, I have a couple ideas. I'm still trying to flesh them out a little bit. One that I started actually with in one of Todd's acting classes. Is basically about a kid who, they were come up in a broken home, and dad remarries, and the the stepmom is not the greatest person, and the daughter basically snaps, and it kind of goes from there, and it just it's kind of a darker story. And then I got another one in the back of my mind about a kid who was adopted, and his whole life he's trying to figure out who his parents were, his real parents biologically, but no nobody knows. He was just kind of dropped off, and that was about it. So I'm still fleshing them out, but no, I'll let you know when I got more for sure.
Sure, sure. I mean, yeah. I'm more than willing to have you back on, and yeah, you come on anytime you want. To tell you the truth, to promote whatever you want, whatever you're in, and but yeah, that's great. I think that'd be awesome to you know uh, get to talk to you and on a different side compared to the acting side. That would be awesome, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Jeremesus, the new movie, the TV series you're in on Amazon Prime. You play Satan.
Yeah.
How's that going? How's it doing? Tell me a
You
little bit
know, it's
about it.
good.
That's
We just finished filming the second episode. And my name on Earth is Steve,
okay.
and um, I'm not your ideal Satan. I'm more of a Mister Rogers type Satan. Um, I try to make sure everything goes smooth, and uh, Jeremy, who is the main character, he kind of he plays his role and does what he's supposed to do, and at the same time though I gotta try and protect him from the other fallen angels. It's kind of a different twist. It's the angels aren't necessarily good, but they're not necessarily bad either, and they pretty much all have fallen. And so we get into a little bit of a tiff with them, or I do. Um, but like I said, I've only been open to three of the episodes, so I'm still not 100% sure what's in store, but it's been a great thing to shoot so far. There's a lot of comedy in it. There's a lot of humor. I mean, obviously it's all satire. Religious people probably are not going to like it.
Hmm.
We did actually we do have there's some scenes where we're in a church, and I secured a church for us to shoot in, and the pastor of the church was like, he's all down for it, and he's even like, I'd like to even be in it. So,
Wow. Interesting, to say the
right.
least. Since, yeah. By the way, could you just give me a little? I kind of know what it's about, but could you give my audience a little bit of background to the story of Jeremesus, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, no, not at all. So Jeremesus is about basically the second coming, and that is Jeremy. And the only thing is Jeremy hates people. And so, he's got a guy that kind of follows him around, and he preaches that, that Jeremy is the next Messiah, so to speak. And but Jeremy could give 2 cents less about any of it, and he thinks the guy's just insane, and he he hates people. That's what it comes down to. He dislikes humanity, and he's just like, whatever. He's kind of got that carefree attitude. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I don't care what anybody says.
Sounds like just about anybody these days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is good. I mean, honestly, it's good. I did see some of the trailer, and it looks good. I mean, I'm a Christian, and I'm going to watch it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go to hell for that. I can't say, but yeah. But it really does look good, and it's got an interesting story, and it's nice that a pastor. That's pretty interesting. Is what kind of denomination? Because lots of times some of the denominations are real strict compared to some other ones. So maybe his denomination isn't so bad. Can you tell me the denomination, or can't you tell me?
What? I'm trying to remember what it is. Give me just a minute, and I can probably tell you. But yeah, and the funny thing is I have a really good friend. I used to work at an appliance parts store, and one of the guys that used to come in, he now runs a church as well, and he was the first person I contacted about it. And where his church is, they actually have 3 churches that work out of his building, plus a food pantry and some other buildings. But I told him the premise of the show, and he's like, man, if I had the time available for you guys to come in and shoot, he's like, I'd be all for it. And he even told me too, he's like, this sounds great. He's like, I'd love to be in it. But he's one of those preachers that he shows up on a motorcycle and in leathers.
Ah, yeah, my kind of
And
preacher.
yeah, he's such a laid back guy. And I mean, we've all had our sins, and he wasn't, when he was younger, he did the drinking and everything else, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us did when we were younger, but then he found God, but he's still he doesn't judge people at all.
That's the
So
best.
but that was, and even though we couldn't use his building, he's like, man, if you got somewhere I can play in it, he's like, let me know. He's like, I'd love to be in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
that's
so no,
that's that's
it's been
nice.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being an indie film, we don't have a real high budget, so everybody's been working together to find places to where we need to shoot at, and everything's actually been coming together really, really well. It's been pretty impressive.
I wish you guys could come over to Pennsylvania. You could we could hang out. I guess I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna see what I can do. Maybe sometime you may see me over there in Colorado. I'd
But
love to just go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, you're good.
Yeah, I would love to just hang out with you guys. Already, Will Gary already said since he's flying from New Jersey, he'll come pick me up.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
that that'd be awesome. I try. Um, it's so fun to get a chance to talk to people in the industry, especially the um, independents and the people that run them, because they're a great bunch of people, especially the people you work with Todd and a lot of the people that you're involved with, and that's why I would enjoy hanging out with you someday. Was even thinking about going to a film festival sometime, so who knows?
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, I'd love to. I know he was thinking about putting Silence in one or two film festivals, but then I think he decided not to.
uh-huh. Okay. I I'm trying maybe like Will was telling me that maybe New Jersey. I don't know if there's any film festivals in Pennsylvania. Not sure. I'm going to be talking to a guy that actually runs film festivals
Oh, nice.
sometimes. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to talk to him. So let's see. Um,
Yeah, no, maybe. I mean, I got family in upper state New York, so maybe we'll just have to make a pit stop.
yeah, just farther, just down below Pittsburgh. I'm more so towards Virginia, West Virginia, probably about close to about 45 minutes away from West Virginia, 45 minutes away from Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that'd be great. Are you? Can you tell me if you're in any other projects you have going so far? Or?
Right now, I actually Todd's got a like a mafia style movie that he's wanting to do. Probably so far from what I've heard, it's going to be late next year. So I've been working on trying to get the accents and stuff down for that. He said he had a role in that for me to play, and then we actually have a buddy in Kansas City, I believe, is where he's at. His name's Michael Bacon, which is kind of funny. But he's actually the one who wrote the dance.
Okay.
Um, he's writing. He that guy writes like there's no tomorrow.
Hmm.
And then I talked to him, and he said he's got a couple that he'd like me to be in too. I haven't gotten any background information on him yet, but um, I mean the future definitely looks bright.
That's
Um,
good.
so
That's good. I would just, yeah. I want you to know, people that usually come on my show usually get some good luck. So hopefully it'll rub off onto you, man.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So okay, let's see. Give me some. How did you? Besides that, what was your influences though when you decided to become, to be an actor? Who was the people that maybe you looked up to? What kind of movies?
Oh man, that's a good question. I've always been an avid movie lover, and I don't know if there's one person specifically that I ever looked up to. I think it was more of just showing up that one day to do Zom Squad, and it was just something in me awoke, and it was just like man, this is awesome.
Hmm.
It was like, this is something, and then it was just like, man, I want to do this. I'd, I'd love to do it as a career. That, it takes practice, it takes time, and you just got to keep working at it. It's like, obviously it's not my full-time job. I'm an electrician by trade. So there, um, yeah, there's just so many people. I mean, you got Patrick Swayze, who was just phenomenal. Um, yeah, there's so many people to name. I can't even, I don't even know where to start.
That's okay. Like I said, sometimes like certain things, but that's interesting that since you were on a set, you just got the bug, so to speak. That's interesting. It brings something out of you, I guess, right, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a passion, like, hey, I can do this, and that's awesome. You know, um, some people, like, um, some people are, good, they can do that. And are you good at, let's just say, because like I asked Deborah this also, do you stay within the lines? Do you stay within the lines of your, when you're acting, or do you do a little bit of ad lib when you're uh,
Uh,
doing your character?
I actually, in silence, um, there was a lot. Todd's really great about that. The first thing he tells me, he goes, "I'm not married to the script." So
That,
I mean, that makes things a lot better because since I'm just getting into it, I'm still trying to learn how to memorize lines, and especially with, when I always saw a movie, I always thought they started at the beginning, filmed from the beginning to the end, and that's not how it works. I mean, you might do the middle scene at the beginning and do the end scene next, and then the beginning at the middle. So you got to know your lines, pretty good. So I've been trying to work on that because I'm not so good at memorization. So I've been looking up techniques and stuff for that. But there is a lot of ad libbing, so to speak, sometimes, especially if you're in a dialogue and you get in a dialogue with another character, and it just keeps going back and forth, and you guys got something good going. Todd will let us just go.
that's good. That's good. That's good chemistry as well. When you can, really get into the story or the scene that you're doing. That's really good. I think sometimes it really shows the creativity you have, as an actor. I think as well. So that's nice that Todd can, well, let you run with something sometimes. That's great.
Yeah, and even the guy who actually wrote Jeremesus, Nathan, who plays Jeremy, he's I mean he wrote some good dialogues, and even he will get a little banner going back and forth, and just go with it. And sometimes that's all it takes. That'll make it or break it sometimes.
Was he a comedian at all, or he just good at being funny?
I think he's just good at being funny. I mean, this guy's super super nice. But yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. Obviously, he's written everything, and so he's actually kind of been, when we get to set. Todd asks him, how do you want to set this up? This is your gig. He's like, I'm filming it and I'll direct you guys, but you set it up how you want it. So it's nice because everybody, like I said, everybody's getting a little piece of the pie. You get some directing, you get some lighting direction, um, you know, where to stand, how to stand. Uh, so it's been great. I've definitely learned a lot from this so far, even though I've only been in the second episode. It's been great. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I cannot wait till we do more.
Yeah, I was just curious because when I got it, why I asked you that was because when I saw the trailer for Jeremesus, he looked. I was like, man, is this guy a comedian? I never heard of him, but he sounded exactly like a comedian, and I thought, well, maybe he's got some kind of, maybe he is a comedian or what he did stand up or something. But he really was good at it. That's why I was just asking you that. Oh,
Yeah, he would be. He would be really good at it.
yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, did I see this guy? Sometimes, I'm always, looking at stuff, and lots of times I don't remember names. Sometimes I remember faces, and he just looked familiar. Um, was he in anything else that I might have seen? I don't know.
um, he's been in a couple of Todd's movies. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which ones exactly. So
Hmm. I'm
I'll have to see if I can get a hold of him and have him get in touch with you. Though, 'cause
sure, sure. To tell you the truth, that'd be great. I some of Todd's movies I still have not yet to watch. I do watch some of his movies, but I still gotta watch some. I'm like, yeah, I gotta watch that sometime. Lots of times, like what I like to do is just sit down and by myself, and I'll watch one of his movies. I guess got to be by myself and just enjoy it. Sometimes I just uh, I was I watched some of the one movie that Todd made, the zombie movie. I forget the name of it, and I hate that when I do that. And I thought, man, is that in his house? Some of the I said, like, and he probably was, and some of the scenes and things like that. That's what makes it interesting, I guess, with when you do independent movies, and like you were saying, is it real hard to actually find a location, or is it just
I think we've been pretty fortunate. We haven't had to do a whole lot of searching. We've been pretty good. We needed a house for like a sorority house for Jeremesus, and one of the girls that's actually in it, her name's Liv Brem. They just were selling a house, and they bought one right down the street from the one they were selling, so it was empty. So we were able to utilize that house for, like a sorority scene.
oh,
So we've been pretty fortunate. Todd's house does get used a lot.
yeah,
um,
yeah, it's
but
cool.
yeah, no, it's cool to see it from the indie side, because you see the struggle that happens. It's there that you get a scene and you're looking at it going, well, how are we going to do this? Or do we need to rewrite this so we can do it with what we have? Um, but it's been a great learning experience, and I've just met so many amazing people. And I'd probably say it. Going back to your question on, if I looked up to anybody, I'd have to say it's with the people that I've worked with.
Oh,
Um, Todd,
hmm,
Elizabeth Larson, Bree Frank, Christopher Michael. I mean, there's just a slew of them, and they've just been just watching them and learning from watching them has just been, I mean, fantastic.
yeah. And you know what? It's funny, but me and you are alike in a way, because it's like I get a chance to talk to people that and it's amazing. It's so fun to talk to actors and writers and producers and all of that. It's really good. So it's like I'm the same as you in a way. I'm still learning, and but I enjoy it. It's such a pleasure and I'm honored to talk to you and all the people that I have on. I'm so uh, happy to, I want people to like indie movies as much as the big movies. I think indie movies are really cool to watch. They're not always, sometimes the endings may not always be the same as a big movie, which I like sometimes because, hey, I would like to be guessing. I don't like to be like, I know they're going to ride off into the sunset. And some of the movies, don't get me wrong, they do. But sometimes I always like to be on edge to just see if I'm right. Oh, is it going to end this way? Is it going to end that way? So that's really cool. That with indie movies, and I always consider you guys the blue collar workers just as much as I'm a blue collar worker. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome that way. You know, you guys,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
go ahead.
you guys really have a passion, for what you do, and that's what I like even more, because that brings out more of the passion in me to keep doing what I'm doing, and stay on my game as well. And you're right. I didn't realize that either at the time, that they actually don't. They may feel the ending first sometimes in movies instead of in a beginning. And I noticed that thanks to You know, I think they used to do that like on I don't know that when they first came out with DVDs. Remember that a lot of the movies would they would show like behind the scenes and stuff like that, and they would go or the director's cut. I think that's what they did. Remember the director's cut when they do
Yep.
DVDs, and they would say, "Well, this was the first part of the movie where we started," and I didn't realize that. And you're right, man. It's different when you make a movie because you don't. It's all cut up, and then when you get a chance to see the full thing, it's like wow. And that's interesting, it really is. And that's why I guess they call it movie magic.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I've actually I go sit at Todd's house quite a bit, and I've actually sat there and watched him when he was doing cut and silence together, and it is amazing. I mean, what that guy can do is it's phenomenal. I know there was a scene we did in silence where we were at the hospital, and unfortunately I'd gotten a call that my grandmother had fell at a gas station and they were rushing her to the hospital by ambulance. And so I only got to film part of the scene I was in. And so he actually took one of the ladies that was in that scene, took her husband, and he wore my jacket and just played my part so they could finish. And then I went over to Todd's house and we did a little green screen magic, and he cut me right in, and you can't even tell.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. He's really good. Like I said, every one of his movies that I've been watching, it really getting better and better. And I know he's got this movie coming out, Paradise Road as well, and that looks good. Have you seen any of it or
I have actually. I actually ran sound on the trailer for that. I'll be helping behind the scenes on that one. I'll be helping him with sound and cameras and uh, just getting everything together on that one. I know he's been working on the script. I was over at his house actually yesterday, and he was working on the script for that one. But that one's going to be a really, really good show.
yeah.
I'm excited to be on that one. Even though I'm not in it, I still get to see it, and I still get to be a part of that magic. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, when I was talking to Deborah Lamb, she was saying so much about it, and I'm like, you know what? I can't wait to see that movie as well. I mean, because like it's a down to earth movie. I mean, it's really good. It deals with PTSD, and I think it's really going to be a great movie. That's going to come out of it. So I bet you're glad you get a chance to even check that one out. Being part of it. That's really nice. What about Misfits 2? Are you going to help out in Misfits 2 as well, or?
I plan on helping out on that one, and I'm probably going to be like an extra in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too major, but I told Todd, I'm like, I want a piece of everything you're doing. And so it's like I don't matter if I'm behind a camera or running a sound equipment or whatever. It's just I want to soak up all the knowledge and everything that I can learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that one hopefully we can. They're actually doing an Indiegogo campaign for that one, so hopefully they get the funding they need for that one.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is you get these good names like Deborah Lamb, she's phenomenal. She's such a great person, so down to earth. I spent a day with her when we were filming, and she's just amazing. And then so is Scott, and I'm probably going to butcher his last name, and I think it's Ingrati, who came out with her, and he's in it as well. And that guy is phenomenal. I mean, he pulled me aside, and he's like, you're doing a really good job. And he's like, I watched Silence and this, and he's like, this is the only thing that I saw that you need to work on. And he just, gave me some tips, and it was just, they were so down to earth. It was just so phenomenal to meet them. And I was in awe at just how, how down to earth they are. They're humans just like the rest of us, but everybody always puts actors and stuff up on this pedestal, and they're just doing what they did. They know how to do.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, and that's what I like. I mean, I'm going to talk to them just as much as I'd be talking to anybody, just like the kid next door. And that's what's cool. About doing, doing this kind of stuff, and what you're doing, is really, it's phenomenal. And I can't wait honestly, to tell you the truth, man, I can't wait to see what you're going to come up with and do, because you sound like you might be doing it in a couple years, I imagine, huh? Maybe not, maybe sooner, huh?
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I got a lot of downtime on my hands because I actually work. Um, I live in Grand Junction and I work in Crested Butte, so I'm like 3 hours away from home. So I stay down there. We have a house down there. My boss does. So, I get home from work and all I do is I just hop on the computer and I watch movies to study, and then I do some writing, and um, so I'm hoping I get something good to come out in the next few months. And I know we got a full plate this next year with stuff we want to do, so it might be a year or two down the road, but it'll come.
That's right. It sure will. Um, so, what kind of characters do you like to play? Do you like to play the bad guy, or because like at first, like I said, when I saw, oh boy, I'm going to be talking to the devil here. Do you like to play the bad? Because like it seems like I'm talking to all the bad people, that are, that are doing well. Deborah wasn't so bad, but she's played, bad people,
Right.
and but do you like playing the bad people, or well, I mean, just give me an idea of what characters you like to play, or
I want to try it all. I've played the father, um, that was kind of clueless and didn't know what to do to help his daughter. Now I'm playing the kind of the next door neighbor, Mr. Rogers. Um, but I want to run the gambit. I will try anything. I mean, that's the only way it's going to make me better.
that's good. That's good. And what about horror? So you're going to try horror and everything. You're going to try.
Yeah. If you look back, a lot of the big names, that's how they got started, was horror movies. I mean, look at Johnny Depp. He's probably my favorite actor. Uh, but Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hmm.
It's where he got started, and then look what he did in Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, that guy is just phenomenal. Um, I don't think I've seen a movie of his that I haven't liked. He can go from one extreme to the next, and it's amazing. So I don't want to pigeonhole myself into one type of character, because then that just makes it harder for you to get a gig if
Hmm.
you typecast yourself as just this one specific type.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to Will Gary, and he said like they always typecast him as a mob guy. I said, yeah. I said, I told him, I go, hey, did you see the picture that you have? I mean, that Todd gave you. I said, you look like. I said, as soon as I saw your picture, I'm like, for Misfits too. I was like, you do, I figured you were the bad guy. I said, you're going to kill somebody. I
Yep,
know it.
he's got that look to him. Yep, he
Yeah,
does.
he can't help it. I said, if I was in movies, they'd probably do the same thing for me. I mean, because I do sort of look Italian, which I always say I'm an American because I think I got everything in me. Oh man, that's awesome, Al. It's so great talking to you, and you know what? And I'm gonna follow your career, brother, and check out everything you do. So keep in touch with me, man, because I do. I'll help you out, and we'll talk about, because I have a feeling, man, you'll be talking to me in a few years about your movie coming out or whatever, and it's gonna be great for you. I
I
really.
appreciate it.
Okay, before I get done talking to you, though, we were talking before about Jeremesus. So do you know when Jeremesus will be coming out by chance, so people can, have an idea when Jeremesus comes out?
I'm thinking. I want to say that Todd's gonna try and have the first episode ready by January, but I'm not 100% positive. There was talks that we were gonna shoot all 13 episodes and put them all on at once. So I'm not sure. I'm not kind of part of that decision making process, but as soon as we know, I'll make sure you know.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And when I do know, whoever I'm talking to, I will definitely even say it on air. I'll even bring it up. I'll say, hey, don't forget we have Jeremesus will be coming out real soon, and that'll be on Prime, huh?
Yep, that'll
Prime.
be on Prime.
Yeah, it's going to be on Prime, Amazon Prime again. If you have Amazon Prime, please check it out, and you'll get a chance to see what Mr. Rogers, the devil, is doing. They should make a movie called The Devil and Mr. Rogers. That would be. But oh man, we're
Well,
getting.
that's just crazy because that Mr. Rogers was a phenomenal person.
Yes,
mean,
he
his
was.
military. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize that he was in the military and what he did in the military, and then to come and do what he did as Mr. Rogers with, he broke the gap on, black versus white, and just all the ethnicity biasness that's out there, and he's so phenomenal. I mean, that's definitely a great inspiration.
Yeah, and he actually grew up in Latrobe, about maybe a half hour away from where I live.
Oh wow!
Yeah. He grew up in Latrobe, PA, and we also have a sort of like a theme park that is called Idlewild Park, and they have a few tributes to Mr. Rogers because it's actually around Latrobe, Ligonier area. So yeah, it's really fun, and it's really nice to know that someone from my area that was so nice like that. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I have a story. My grandmother was a nurse in the hospital down towards Pittsburgh, and he was in it one time. He was the nicest guy. He's not a character, like you would think, oh, well, he just does that on TV. No, he's
Right.
real. He was a real guy, really nice, and all to them and everything. I mean, she couldn't talk enough about him. He was really a really good guy, so, oh yeah, Mr. Rogers, one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember watching him when I was a kid, and that dude was phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah, it was. So, in a way, don't get me wrong, it sounds a little bit like with the Jeremesus. I mean, I've watched Supernatural, and some of you guys, it sounds like some of the angels are sort of like that, a little bit like they're not always the nice people, right?
Right. Yep.
I mean, it's sort of similar to. I mean, no, it's not. Jeremesus is a funny comedy compared to Supernatural, which is, I don't know, you could call it sort of funny sometimes, but which is interesting. No, it's still interesting that you got some demons that are bad and you got some angels that are good. So that will really be cool. Does he fight? No, no. Does he fight any of the demons? Or does he fight any of the angels? Does he like argue with them?
You know, I don't know at this point, honestly. I know I have an interaction in episode 2 with one, but other than that, I am not too sure yet. They're the scripts are coming out when they're ready, so I have not been able to. Like I said, I've seen script 3 because I'm not in episode 3, so we'll see. I'm not sure what's to come, but it's going to be great, whatever it is. It's kind of like have you ever watched Shameless?
Yeah, I have. I've watched a few episodes. That's a long series, and I don't know if I'm even going to get into it on Netflix right now. But yeah, I did. I've seen a few episodes. So yeah,
So
that
it's
looks
kind of like
good.
a cross between probably I'd say Shameless and a Supernatural.
Okay.
It's got that humor of Shameless, where there's no there's no walls. I mean, they'll do just about anything.
Good. Like I said, I still can't wait to see it, and That's good though, because like I like both shows. I mean, I got a chance to watch some of Shameless, and it's not like I don't like it. It's just haven't got around to watching a lot of the episodes, but it's a good show, and so Supernatural. I'm still in the middle of Supernatural to tell you the truth. Because you guys, though, can I ask you a question? Your series, like, it's not going to be like Supernatural. Like one season is 22 episodes.
No, I think we're slated for 13 episodes right now.
Oh well, that's good. That's good. It's not too bad to binge watch then.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
That's
you try to
awesome.
binge watch those ones that they got 22, 24 episodes. You're like, man, where'd the last 24 hours of my life just go?
I know, I know. I got into it only because of I love The Walking Dead, and I knew that in my sister-in-laws they started watching and they got me into it. It's something about me. I don't know if you were okay. We're gonna go old school. Have you ever watched Scooby Doo?
Oh, I love Scooby Doo.
That's what it reminds me of. Scooby Doo, the Hardy Boys, Nancy
Yep.
Drew. I mean, and that's how I got hooked. But it was actually because Michael D. Morgan's in it, and
Uh huh.
I love Negan. He's like one of my favorite characters on The Walking Dead right now, and
Oh yeah, he's. Yep.
so it's like that's how I kind of got into it because they're like, oh, yeah, he's in it, but next thing you know, like he's only in it in a few episodes, and I'm like, rats, what the? I said I really
Well,
watched it for him.
I heard he's coming back in the next season.
Oh, that's good. That's yeah, but it's so long for me to get to it because I have to wait till it comes out on Netflix. But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that he is doing that. Yeah, I started actually. It's funny how we started our podcast because like I used to do live Facebook live shows all the time in my Facebook group. We used to do live shows and we used to talk about The Walking Dead and all, and now we're just doing a different format is doing the podcast, and so it's sort of not that big of a jump, but it's more the podcast. I try to be a lot more professional and try not to you know I try not for example, I usually did a lot of jokes and characters, and I used to wear wigs and everything. Yeah, we used to have a good time, and I still do that. I'll probably do it again sometime on my Facebook group because I just love having fun with my son because he's usually he usually comes up with some good ideas. So but
Nice.
but that's how I got started in a way, and I thought let's just further this and let's just talk to actors and some movie directors and see what I can do. And it's opened up a lot, and it's like you guys that I get a chance to talk to, and it's just so awesome. And I'm sorry that I'm talking again about my show, but it's so awesome to talk to you, and it's so I'm so how do you say, humbled and honored to talk to you, and to see and also to see what all you're going to be doing, and hopefully and that Jeremesus is a hit, and you'll have tons and tons of episodes and tons of seasons to do, and so I'm so looking forward to watching that, and all the other shows all the other things that'll be coming out as far as the movies that you're going to be working on with with Todd, and also it's awesome. So I want to thank you so much, John Breiner, for coming on my show today, and it was a pleasure talking to you, and best of luck to you. I can't wait to see Jeremesus, and Jeremesus will be out sometime in January. We'll keep you up to date. You guys could go to my page. We'll always put things up there on my wall. And like I said, we'll probably again talk about this movie. Sure to get a few more people on it from the TV show Jeremesus. So be looking for it. And thank you guys so much. Thank you again so much, John, for coming on my show. And best of luck to you, and hopefully get a chance to talk to you again real soon and see how things are going, if you don't mind. And and this is Jim Seacrest with All Around Podcast, or All Over Podcast. Sometimes I get that mixed up, even though. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching my show today, and subscribe. I need subscribers. We're also going to be on Spotify real soon, so you guys will be able to listen to us on Spotify and other venues, not just Spotify. A couple other ones I cannot remember, and I'll have to remember them and put them down. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you, John, for being on my show. We'll be looking forward to checking out Jeremesus when it comes out.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, bro. All right, we'll see y'all. This is the All Around Podcast. Jim Seacrest out.